Hello, everyone. Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome, welcome. We would like to invite you to our broadcast today, to our Chit Chat with Lucia. And today we will be talking about what are your core values. Before we're going to start, we're going to introduce ourselves. And guys, please, if you're going to see this video's got value for you, if this video you're going to like, love, please share it with others. And if you're going to share the video, we've got a really lovely, we've got
a little prize for you. I thought we've got two prizes for you, but I just found out that we are fully booked on the prize number 2. So Aroma Yoga this Friday, unfortunately, is fully booked. It's actually overbooked. But I've got something exciting. I'm going to have an event that I'm going to be talking on, and it's for you guys. The name of the event is Dream It, Believe It, Achieve It. Love it, love it. I will be speaking on a panel there. Guys, I've got two tickets that you can win today, and all you need to do, by the way, event is on Thursday, 30th of November. It's a Thursday and Friday. It's worth over £100. The value of it is much, much, much higher, by the way. It really can transform your life. But what I want to say is that 2 of you can win these tickets for this event. I can take them with me personally, so it's very tempting. You're going to literally spend 2 days with me and with lots of other people. So if you're interested, guys, it is going to be extraordinary 2 days. Yeah, all you need to do is, if you see, and like Martina said, if you feel the value of what we are going to talk about, we are talking about values. So if you see the value in that, do share our video, send the screenshot. Is that right, Martenka? Send a screenshot in the comments so we can see that you shared it. And that way we put you in a draw that I'm going to do on Friday to choose 2 of you who can come to this event, or give these tickets to someone who you really, really love and care about. I even allow you to do that because I know it's Thursday, Friday. Not everybody is off, but it's extraordinary and it's a huge value for that. So that's from my side. Comment. And also, anybody is also invited into this draw who is going to suggest us, and again, send us a comment on this live streaming, any other themes or ideas what we can talk about. So anything that is calling you guys, anything that you are dealing with in your life, and secretly you would love to talk to someone about it, and maybe you don't have a courage, you can, if it's something really deep or something very personal, I'm totally allowing you to send me a personal message as well. Otherwise, send it in the comments, because I bet you that if you are dealing with that one thing, you're not the only one in the world. It's just people are not talking about it. Okay, so let's talk about it. I'm always trying to choose and prioritize the themes that you are suggesting us. Guys, next week, by the way, in Slovak language, we are going to talk about, just so you know, next week we are going to talk about how do you deal with a loss, with losing someone that you love. It's a subject very close to my heart. And also with All Saints Day that we celebrate in Slovakia and Czech Republic, over here is more Halloween, I thought is very appropriate theme. So hopefully you will enjoy it. And today, what we are talking about today, Martinka?
Today we are talking about core values. So before that, we just were going to quickly introduce ourselves, so you know, guys, who we are, why we're doing this broadcast. So my name is Martina Stewart. I've been living in UK for 20 years. And what I do, I really love healthy lifestyle. I'm helping women to change if they want to, look beautiful, if they want to have more energy, fit those jeans they're having in a cupboard for a couple of years. So I'm just really helping them to be the best version of themselves. And also I would like to mention we've got a vegan group, which is called Be Kind to Every Kind, which I'm going to leave the link below this video. And if you are looking for more energy, if you are looking for changing your eating habits, then that is the group to join. So that's me.
Beautiful. And very briefly, guys, my name is Lucia Hoxa. Some of you know my face and Martina's face. We are here every Wednesday, by the way. I am always trying to reveal something else every week. So anyway, for those of you who are wondering, I'm 36. I live in London. I'm happily married. What I do is what I love. And I am a yoga teacher as well as a professional lifestyle coach. So I work with women, especially with women who are in transition of their lives, who are women who really want to follow their purpose or find out what their purpose is or monetize. That means earning money doing what they love. I'm very passionate about this. And sometimes, let's say, let's face it, life happens. So guys, I'm really here behind you, supporting you in living the life you love. And I'm going to also post a little Facebook page if you want to join us and be in this community of amazing women all over the world. Totally would love to have you on board. So that's us. And now let's talk about values. And guys, I really want to encourage you, for those of you who are watching, I appreciate this is like lunchtime. So I know you are a lot of you are watching us from the replay later on. But for those of you who are with us live, who are like taking a sneaky lunch break, having a little tea or maybe even food with us, please feel free to enjoy and send us a comment. I really like you have no idea how excited I get to get your comments. And I keep on saying, because I can't actually see them on my screen, but I keep on encouraging Martina to let us know every time someone will send a comment so we can talk to you. I really want this to make this interactive, especially about the subject that we are talking about today, which is so important, and it is about our values. So what do you think, Mati? How do you have it? Let's start this. What are the values? What do you think? And why are they important? And yeah, let's start there.
I don't know. I think everyone should have a values, and you need to choose them who you are really in that particular time of your life, and just live them. And I think if you're not going to live them, you might be, I don't know, unhappy. So, for example, my core value is lifestyle, healthy lifestyle. I love that. Is just my passion. If I'm talking about health and healthy lifestyle, that's just me. It's easy coming out of my mouth. I know what I'm talking about. I love changing people, habits, eating habits. I love when they come to me and say, look, this is excellent. This is working. I have more energy. So that is one of my core values. Another one is freedom of choice. And another one I chosen was fun and laughter. I just love fun.
Yeah. And I can see it on your live videos when you're streaming with your daughter. You just love to have a giggle, don't you?
Yeah.
Brilliant. And guys, it's so important. I want to say, when I started thinking about my core values, and values are kind of linked with the beliefs, but let's just talk about values. When you start this process, it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And we are going to actually, in a moment, we are going to do a little exercise with you so you can find this useful. So if you have a pen and paper, just grab it, because you might find this useful. If you're driving, obviously, forget about that. Just listen. And I'm going to read out some of the values in a little moment, just so you are aware of what examples, what kind of things resonate with you, because I'm sure there will be, once you hear them, like Martina was reading them now, it's like, oh, maybe, it really, something is going to resonate. Okay. But first, let's say why are the values important? So, you might be a religious person or not religious person. I think what is really important is to believe in something and to have a set of values that are kind of the part of your being. And really from that space, all your choices you make in life, from what country you live in, to how do you spend your time, to how you run your business, how you talk to people, how do you deal with life? You know, all these things, everything really, really is coming from what you believe and from your values. So, you know, let's
So when
just
do you,
give,
I've got a question. I just
yeah.
popped in my head. When do you think it's the first time we think about the core values as a kid? So
So you don't have that language, I think, as a child. You know, you don't have that
I think there
language.
still must be something, but we're not really sure what that is.
You know, I think it's definitely in your childhood. Although you don't have a label for it in that
Mm,
time, you don't call it value, you know, or like you don't have a language for a lot of things when you're a child. But I think that it really, really is forming in our very early childhood.
yeah.
So, you know, when, for example, when I see my mom and dad, you know, my mom coming up to my dad and giving him a little kiss on the cheek, you know, I definitely as a child, something has, you know, I remembered like, okay, you know, is nice to be nice to people, yeah. And it's like physical affection is
Mhm.
something that is very important to me,
Yeah.
you know, and I live it, I do it. And I know that if I, you know, can't give like lots of kisses to my husband every day, I would miss it, you know? Like it is something that is very important to me, but it started when I was a child and when I saw that kind of affection between my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Guys, if you would like to, or if you know what is your core values, please comment. Would be lovely
Yeah.
to see.
Maybe it will help you guys if I just shout out some, okay? Let's just start here. So, just to have an idea, some of the core values can be um, knowledge
Hmm.
or love for others, empathy, being empathetic with people, um, family. Okay, it's going to be combination of a few of them.
Yeah.
Creativity. For someone, creativity, I had a client this morning. She's extremely creative. You know, for her, you know, she's in a sales industry and she's thinking of, you know, coming out of it. And for her, is literally, you know, it's killing her to be in that environment. And luckily, she's brave enough and young enough, and you know, we possibly, you know, like we can work together to actually bring her back to what is important to her. So if creativity, and she's a designer, she loves to write, she even started her blog, she's an amazing woman. So
Yeah.
if this is something that is important to her and she's like, oh my God, it makes me so happy to write, you know, and imagine she's sitting behind the desk, like selling the something,
So
you
that's really
know,
killing her, isn't it?
must be. And by the way, sales is not a horrible job. It's about relationships with people, but it depends what is the context, um, organization, you know, how do they make you do it, you know, targets and all this, like that's
Mhm.
against your value, you know, feeling the pressure. Anyway, let's read out some more.
I've got a few comments here as well.
Yeah, please.
So I would like to say hello to Tanya and Olga because they said hello. Hi, girls.
Hi,
And
girls.
Olga is asking, what was the reason for choosing core values as your topic for today?
Yeah, the reason choosing this topic, like, so we've got so much we want to talk to you about, guys, and so many comments you are like choosing yourself. So some of them we find inspiration, some of them this was actually one of the we got inspired from you. So I had one question a few weeks ago, like how do we make a decisions, you know, how do we know that, because maybe this person who is coming from was a little bit undecisive, or you know, like a little bit worried. Sometimes we have that, right? How to make
Yeah.
a decision, especially big decisions in life, right? Like big things. And you know, I always say, as long as it's like, you can never be sure, okay? We don't have a crystal ball. We cannot be 100% sure whether choice we make is a good one, right? It's like sometimes years later we find out. But what is important, I think, in making the big decisions or any decisions in life, is to be present to your core values. And so I thought this subject would really, really contribute to all of us. and us sharing about our values is really, really interesting, because not everybody's values are the same, but a lot of values will overlap. So yeah, does that answer the question?
I think so, yeah.
Let us know. Thank you.
I quite like one of those. Sorry, there is a courage which is really nice. Nature is one of those.
Nature, yeah.
Community.
Community.
Everyone loves to be in a part of the good community who will inspire you and push you forward.
Community is one of my top values for sure. And actually, this is why we are doing what we are doing, isn't it? Like, this is in line, these live streamings, talking to you guys, reaching out, this is having fun. Growth, personal growth for me is a huge value. Like, when I'm growing, when I'm learning something, I feel alive. I feel really, empowered. I feel like my purpose in life. Yeah, purpose is another big passion, another value.
Global peace.
Global peace.
Global peace. Inspiring others. Joy. Living your dream. Love that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So come on, girls.
Yeah,
yours.
Feel free to steal them, guys. As we are sharing them, reading them out. Love yourself.
That's very important.
Loving yourself, having a great relationship with yourself. And I just want to say that the values, there's nothing wrong for some of the values taking more of a precedence, more of like changing. Like, they are never I don't think they're ever going to like change completely. If you're someone, like, one of my top values is love, unconditional love. That's like probably number one for me, because I know when I'm taking action from that space, whether it's love towards myself or love towards others, when I'm working with my clients or when I'm talking to the bus driver, like, for me, that's a biggie. I know when I'm coming from that space, things might go tits up, such as life.
Yeah.
But I can sleep really well because I know I'm coming from that place, and I always keep on checking in. It's like, is this, answer that I'm giving coming from that space or from the space of ego or looking good or whatever, Am I serving here? Service is another a great value.
Right. So I've got a question. So we said everyone's got a core value, and we just need to clarify what they are, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we should all have them.
Yeah.
Everyone's got them.
We all have a values. It's just sometimes we don't even like think about it. It just doesn't cross my mind. And that's one of the part of the reasons why I'm doing this live streaming, because it is so, so, so useful when we know our values. Because example, if you're it's like lots of examples, right? But if we are not in touch, if we are not acting in line with our values, then it feels like something is off. Something is out of balance.
We lost.
We are lost. We even worse, like, I am meeting people who, not only that they're out of balance, but they're suffering of anxiety and they feel trapped. They are suffering of stress and anxiety. And I dare to say that a majority of these kind of feelings often are connected just because, you're not in touch with your values, with your core values. So example is, if you are working, in investment banking. Sorry, investment bankers. I'm sure there are some, I actually know pretty amazing souls, amazing people who are doing this job. And I'm not saying you can, I'm sure there is a way to do it in a, honorable way. But let's face it, it can be really, really, really a ruthless environment, and the trouble is that even if you, even if you kind of, you haven't been born to do it, you don't want to do it. But if you're staying there for money, then is the question of what carries the bigger weight for you. Like, is it like your internal happiness and being in line with your core values, or is it the amount of money you can make in that place, just like cringing and getting through the day, surviving, and then getting home like, thank God for that.
Yeah.
So
we've got a few comments. Olga is asking, values as what is important to me. Yes, that's what we would like to find out. And Tanya is saying, for me, it's most important to do something what makes sense to me. Yeah. So, for example, being able to help others, to be satisfied with myself. My family is another big value for me, then passion and creativity.
Yeah. And Excellent. It's really, thank you so much for that. No, that's brilliant. That's exactly what it is, and values can change. Like, I know that for me, family as a value now is got much more weight, like I value the family, and we talked about it, didn't we, Martina? Probably you as well, you've got kids as well. So as you go older, your values are amended a little bit, maybe in your 20s, your things like career is more of a thing, right? Or and then in your 40s, maybe it's a family, which even takes the number one place, right? But it's always kind of balance. And sometimes when we are in transition of our life, sometimes we that's what happened to me as well, put some other value on the top of the list. So for example, if you're being, I had a period of my life when I had a burnouts. I was exhausted, like many of my friends from the past, like remembering me running around, and I'm so glad I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm active, I'm a busy girl, but experience of it is not like it used to be. But at the time, for me, love towards myself was a core value. Why? Because I was the person who was always giving, always putting other people first. And then I burned out. I had nothing else to give, So at the time, it still is one of my top values, but at the time, love towards myself was really, really up there, because I really needed to nurture it more than any other value, because there was an urgency for me. Does that help, girls? Is this making sense?
It does help to me. Thumbs up for me. How about you, girls? If you like the video, if you like the topic what we're talking about, comment one.
Send us some hearts.
Send up some hearts. We love hearts.
We love hearts. I'm going to see whether I can see any hearts here. I love that. on a little profile. Yeah.
How many of those values we should have?
Yeah. So
is it too many to have, or is it a good number magic 3 to have? What do you reckon?
I would say magic 3. I mean, if you have a pen and paper in front of you guys, I'm going to shout out some more in a moment. In terms of values, but start writing them down. I think it starts with like just writing them down, everything what resonates with you, everything what I say, and it goes like, yeah, this is me.
So it's like you can write, I don't know, 10, then go over the 10, and then choose, I don't know, 7, and go to the 3, which are really, really like you can, that is your core value.
That's right. I don't know if it was in Warsaw. I was doing workshop, and a fantastic thing was that like we started doing the workshop, and we had this. It was like hundreds of people there, and we had a stripes like this of written values on it, and we had, I think it was about half hour or maybe even hour. We had like 25 of these strips that we got, like, and we were supposed to trade them. So you let go of one,
Yeah.
and
Someone gave you the other.
someone gave you another, and then it came to like just letting them go. So the end of the exercise was that you were supposed to like just hold on to those three remaining values, and it was three. So I think three is a good number, but write them down on a paper and you will see that some of them are similar, and you will even see like, well, if I have this value, that covers this as well.
Right.
That's how you can select three.
Yeah. So Olive wrote here, and this
Yeah.
is funny because I was thinking about it yesterday. One of my personal values is to care about environment, so I'm always conscious about how much waste I produce, and I'm buying food that is helping or not helping environment. I had this same thought yesterday evening when I was unwrapping the shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is it. Like sometimes we are saying one thing, if we are brutally honest, because I like this, this is chit chat, right? It's just me
Yeah.
and you and another 1,000 people who watch this. No, but like really, like if we are honest with ourselves, then yeah, sometimes we say that our value is love. And then, half hour later, your partner drives you crazy, and it's not exactly loving that you say to him, because you're hormonal, you got it before your period or something.
Okay.
And it's nothing wrong. That just proves that you're a human being and you're totally, normal. It's normal. Yeah, it's just normal, right?
Yeah.
But, or I should say, and what I think is important, or how I like to do it, because love is such a big core value of mine. I like the best possible way I can. Okay, I like to leave people, let them feel being heard, being respected, being valued. So if I do the cock up, if I blow up on my husband, it does sometimes still happen, not often, or not as often as in the past,
Yeah,
but
what are you trying to say? So even though you get that core value, it doesn't have to be 100%.
Thank you.
We've got those kind of
Of course,
moments.
like it's just being present to your value. Then when you blow up on your partner, then you can go back and say, hold on a minute, this is not who I am, in your head. This is not who I want to be. This is not who I am. And you take a responsibility for that. And then you go and apologize and you say, do you know what, honey, it was out of order. I'm so sorry. I've been an asshole.
I was an emotional person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we always can say, yeah. Yeah, so Ollie, we got your core value. It's a helping environment, because she wrote again, helping environment makes me feel good and it feels right. So there you go. That is your number one.
That is your number
strongly about that. That's what it is.
Yeah. And Ollie, if this is your core value, are you inspired to do something about it, to take it further? And then question is, this is another beauty of it. Okay. If you find that your core value is helping environment, then, is there something that you would like to do with it next? You can join voluntary organization, or, you can find out a little bit more about it, or you never know, you can maybe even get a job in a field. So at least you're doing something that you believe in, and it's in that industry, like ecological organization. You never know. Or, surround yourself with people who got a similar values. Do your friends, Ollie, do they care about the environment? Not all of them. I mean, of course, like that, different people. We can't just like say, okay, you don't like, you carry the plastic bag, you're not my friend anymore. But, it's really, really good to kind of reflect on yourself. Like, does my partner's got the same values as me? That's really important. There's like a question of compatibility. They can vary a little bit, but in general, it helps. It really helps.
Ollie's asking you a question.
Yeah.
What have you learned from being mean to hubby?
What did I learn? It depends. Depends how I'm being mean. Thank you for a question. Do you know what? Okay, let me give you. Let's be real here. We are always real, but let me give you some like proper example. Oh, okay, yeah. Here we go. My
Right.
husband is very laid back, for example. Yeah, he's really like chilled, and I'm kind of someone who gets things done. I'm like, if you want to get things done, I'm like, I just,
On them.
yeah, I'm on a ball. And sometimes it like drives me crazy that it takes him so long to do something. Okay. And once I was like, yeah, it was Sunday, guys, Sunday, his only day off. Can you imagine? And I woke up in the morning. This was a long time ago, but I still remember it. And I remember feeling like, come on, it's day off. We need to clean the house and we need to do this. And it's the
Oh
only
my
time we
God,
can.
you like me?
And I was like, get things going. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And then in the evening, we can chill out, watch the movie, have a, nice dinner. But he's like, no, he just wants to chill a little bit more. And then when he gets really bored of chilling, let's do something. And I'm do you see, like opposite?
Yeah.
So I called him lazy. And I was like, you're so lazy. Everything is down to me. And do you know what? Like what I learned, Ollie, because that's your question, is that well, first of all, my husband is not lazy because he has bleeding the only day off. He was working on Saturday, so he's definitely not lazy. And what I learned is, first of all, we are different kind of people and we've got a different priorities and we need to find a way how to meet in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I need to kind of respect that he's got a different energy. He likes to do things different way. And, also communicate it to him like, look, this is my preference because I really want to like cuddle up with you, in the evening and have that cuddle time. And, my mind can't really switch off until that hoovering is done because it's still on my mind. So, when we have a sex, I'm thinking about hoovering. You don't want that, do you?
Is that how you're working? Is that how you should be talking to them?
Why not?
Lucia, that's a good idea.
Why not? I mean, girls, that's what's happening. Just be honest.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure loads of girls like that.
Yeah, good tip. Yeah. And they really get it. He really got it, And of course they want us be happy. And let's face it, girls, when we have things on our mind, it's not exactly like, oh, let's have, Hmm? No,
I'm sure.
glad.
I'm sure. Yeah. Good.
Glad it's useful. So, Ollie, hopefully that answered your question. I learned a lot, basically. And it works now.
Sorry?
Our Sundays work really well now.
So how did that happen then on Sunday? Did you just let it be? Have you done anything you wanted that Sunday or you just went pear-shaped?
That Sunday, well, no, it went pear-shaped because I was grumpy all day. It was only evening when I realized, got back to my value, okay? And when I calmed down, right? But the important thing is that the conversation what we had in that evening really created all the rest of the Sundays that how we live now. So we wake up in the morning, we cuddle. If it's a football, I let him watch the football. I have a bath. And then I start doing the breakfast. He loves the eggs, so I make a breakfast. And then we sit in the garden, have a little tea, and then we start doing things together. By 5 o'clock, we are finished. If this is housework day, not every Sunday we do this. By 5 o'clock, it's finished, and we have a cuddle, and it works perfectly, And that's what's happening for us. And everybody's happy. Easy.
Great.
And maybe if I don't, if I don't come back to my value, or if I don't realize that actually, I want to find a way, and my core value, which is love, inspired me to do that, maybe we would still have a crappy Sundays, and I would be, angry with my husband, thinking that he's still lazy till this day. So hopefully this is making some difference to you guys, like it's giving you something.
Great. One more question.
Yeah.
Did we talk about how often we should be changing our core values?
Well, it's not like bed sheets, you know,
Yeah.
like it's
Depends what journey in a life we're taking.
it depends. But what I would say is it's not so much like how often we should change them, but it's healthy to look at them, okay, and review them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, so as you're writing it down, girls, if anybody is doing this exercise, or maybe even boys joining us, you know, if you're writing them down, is keep the exercise book with you, because it's going to be very interesting. I found my notebook from 5 years ago, I think, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and or even more. And you know, it's really, really interesting to reflect and to look back. So, you know, just I think it's very important to take time for yourself when you give yourself space to do the personal development, because this is part of the personal development. This is a kind of thing that, you know, I do many times as part of my program. So, you know, take time for yourself, and, you know, ideally is great if someone can take you through it. But if not, um, then at least, you know, review it yourself and do it yourself. So it's not so much how often to change them, but it's how often to look at them. And I would do
Yeah.
it. I would sit down, I would look at it, you know,
Same,
review
yeah, because for
regularly.
me, I didn't pay attention to core values like 3 years ago. I
Yeah.
just didn't, nobody talked to me about it. I have, nobody introduced. Then I got into the personal development, and then we're starting to talk about this, and it just gives you that kind
Yeah.
of course, it's like you always had them, but you never, put that kind of value or
Mm.
really thought about them or review how you're saying that.
Yeah, like I would say, and this goes not just with getting present to the values, but personal development as such. You know, is very, very important, very healthy, and more successful people, people who are in transition, or, you know, do this. They even like hire the coaches or get on the programs, or, you know, like, because they're interested to understand more. Because if you
Mhm.
don't, you know, you're okay, your life will be okay, but you are kind of like, you know, like walking a little bit like blindfolded, or
Mhm.
like experience of life is a little bit like being in a fog. So you
That's
don't
what, yeah, it's like not, it's not strong enough. You've got, it's like you're living, I wanted to say that, so you're living somewhere, yeah, in a fog, somewhere not strong.
yeah. Or, you know what, another thing is you're living in a fog, but it's like being lost without knowing that you are lost. That's what happened to me. And
Yeah.
also like living like superficial life.
Mm.
So, you know,
Guys,
like,
if you really, relate to that, give us a thumbs up, guys, because I've got such a clicks in my head at the moment. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You know, like living a superficial life. What I mean by that, and, you know, this is really confronting, and it's really courageous to look. Like, really courageous. Like, I remember years ago when I had like good job, I was earning good money, but if I'm honest with myself, you know, I came back home and I was empty.
Mm.
There was no passion. You
No.
know, now I feel like I'm engaged in life. I'm like, and I'm not special, you know, many of you, and thank you so much for your comments and for your messages, you know, saying, you know, you're amazing, the streamings are amazing, we look forward to them. Thank you so much for saying that, for mentioning that. But I also want to say to us, like, me and Mattia, we are not special. Like, like anybody can have what we have and much more. You know, we are just like a little bit daring, a little bit more, like just really,
Mm.
really being engaged in life. Because otherwise, I think inevitable future is that you live like a little bit like under the blanket, like just observing the world rather than being participant. If I can say one more thing, I mentioned it to one of my lovely clients today, and, you know, we've been talking about communication and so on, and um you know, it was like being participant in life rather than an observer. And the great example was like, you know, someone who is saying you know, being a tennis player.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, yeah, I'm a tennis player, but, you know, I only sit in a stance, you know, I'm just, you know, at the moment I'm not on a court, I'm just sitting where the you know, where the visitors come. It's like, yeah, but you said you're a tennis player. It's like, yeah, I am a tennis player, but I'm just sitting and watching at the moment. And that's exactly like what happens when we, you know, when we kind of just let the life flow by, when we don't actively, you know, take responsibility for our lives and start creating rather than being in the impact of the circumstances and what is happening around us.
Oh, you say really lovely. Ollie's saying again, so I suppose core values helps me to know what feels right and what feels wrong.
That's right.
Exactly.
Perfect. You got it.
And then she's saying everyone is special.
Everyone is special. Everyone is special, and everybody's got a value. Everybody, like, and I mean everybody. You know, the homeless people on the street, they've got a value. I mean it.
Yeah.
You know, there is so much to learn from these people. So much, you know. The child who's been like born, they can't speak. So much to learn from them. Yeah, so thank you so much for that comment as well. Everybody's got a value, including us, okay? Including ourselves.
Right.
Good. Any more questions? And, you know, keep on asking us, guys, because this is very, very juicy subject. And I really love engaging with you. Ollie, what you said, that, you know, our getting present and getting clarity about our values is very, very important, because that way, decision making is much easier process. And once your values are rooted in who you are, that's the next stage, that you are not even thinking about them, is part of you.
Yeah.
And you're not even, yeah.
So do you think if you decided you got your 3 core values, you're happy about them, you are happy, do you think the lives become easier as well because you like know what you're doing?
Much easier. I can't even tell you. You save so much time. You attract things to your life that, you know, for example, like like whether it's a job interviews or people who cross your path, you know, because you are vibrating on completely different. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to sit comfortably here. You are vibrating on completely different frequencies, so automatically you're going to attract, you know, different kind of people to your life. But it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, you kind of need to, it's a longer process. It's not just writing down 3 core values. It really, and this is really good actually, that I remember to say that it really is a process. It's process about, you know, clarifying your values is one thing, and then really getting them to be a core part of you, to live them, to, you know, that's another ball game. And and I think support is really, really important, because we are so easy to drift off, you know, and just like, you know,
okay, so Daniel left the last message and we have to wrap up. So I think it's definitely worth to stop and look at your values at the moment and decide if you are happy with them. It's never too late to change them. I'm really happy with how things are and want to include more creativity in my life.
More creativity? Yeah, thank you, darling. And yeah, so let us know, guys. We are going to wrap up, but let us know. Keep us sending in messages. Keep on sharing with one another, because, you know, maybe some of you will have a specific values that are going to be similar, and you never know. Maybe someone is going to read your comment and reach out to you. You got a new friend. You know, anything can happen. So, you know, keep on sharing with us, and you know, I think it's very important that we don't feel like we are on our own on this journey. So hopefully you enjoyed the time with us.
So you said one of your core value is love. What's the other 2?
Love, community, family. family community is the same thing, right? And also one of my really, really top values that I didn't mention today is integrity. For me, what it means is being true to myself and being true to others, and just having integrity, honoring my word. So when I promise something, I deliver, that kind of thing. So you
Yeah.
saw me in the middle of the mountains because I said I will be with you. I bloody made it happen.
And she's always on that time as well, no
On
matter
time,
what.
yeah.
Cool. All right, then. So we're going to wrap up. Thank you very much, Lucia. It was a really lovely topic today. I learned a lot. Guys, if you like the streaming, please like and share. Lucia said that she's going to give one ticket to a lucky winner who's going
I've got 2 tickets, so you're not, yeah. You've
so
got a
like
company.
and share it, go on, and that will be on Friday, wouldn't it?
That will be Thursday, Friday. I post the
Thursday.
details of it anyway, so you
Yeah.
can see it properly. And I will also post some of the values so you can really see them all, and maybe even do this exercise when you find a moment. Really do it, guys, and share with us what came up for you. And I would love to hear what came up for you. Maybe it will be like, I thought I'm this, or I thought I prefer this, but actually, this resonates better. So, share with us, what did you discover for yourself?
Cool. So what you need to do, you need to take a screenshot of your that you shared it on your wall on the Facebook and send it to our comments underneath the video. And if you don't want to send it here, then send it privately to me or Lucia. So thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
And we'll be seeing each other next Wednesday, 1 o'clock.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, guys. Have a nice Wednesday and rest of the week.
Bye.